Hello, I see I got 3 people in here. Make yourself shown over here on the chat. Who's in here with me? I thought, well, we'll just do a pop up. Let's just see how many night owls we have on Team Unjustified because I'm going to tell you, I'm definitely the night owl. Definitely. So, who have we got in here with us? Either my chat's not working or nobody's talking. Ah, here we go. There we go. Randy, Lynn, Amy, Linda. Hey, guys. So we do have some unjustified night owls. That's awesome. I thought I might be the only one, right? How's everybody doing tonight? It's like, well, the last few videos I uploaded, some of them, some people had questions and some had theories. And so I was like, well, it's easier just to get on here and maybe we can just talk about it, If anybody wants to come up here and talk with me, I can throw the link out there and you can just click it and we can just have like an open call in. I'm not going to make this too long tonight. I just wanted to say hi to everybody. Love you too, Amy. And thank all of y'all for always being there and always supporting Team Unjustified. My chat is kind of really slow right now, so let me do something real quick and give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Okay, maybe this is better now. Okay, let's see. I can see some of the chat now. Hi, Gina B. Stardust. Bartenders no bar. Wow, that's cool. My daughter is a Randy and not too many of them. That's very true. My husband entertained the idea of naming our daughter Randy with the I, and I was all about it. But then he decided on Felicia. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Who would have thought 30 years later there would have been this? Bye, Felicia. Hey there, little lady. Oh, you're going to bed? I know you hadn't felt well lately, so that's okay. You need to get some rest. I know you've had a rough time in the last few days. Oh no. Oh no. Really? COVID. Wow. Have you got your results back yet? Do you know? I love you too, honey. Thank you, Randy Lynn. I appreciate that, honey. Yes, I'm a total night owl too, Amy. It's just terrible. I don't even have the time to go to bed until the sun's up. Inconclusive, that's not good, Chair. That's not good. That could, some of these tests are not even given accurate. Yeah, you need to get some rest because even if you assume you may have it, that's not a good thing, because something's going on there. You need to get you some rest and stop letting things get to you so much. Well, thanks, Amy. I know my theories sometimes may be out there, and I don't even really want to call mine theories. They're just thoughts, really. That's really what they are. They're just pretty much thoughts. And if you call them theories, then you, like on here, if you call them theories, you're going to get slapped. So I don't even like to call them that. Oh, wow, Cher, honey, you need to get some rest. You need to go take a hot bath. light you a scented candle, kick back in that tub, and just rest, really, and stop letting all this drama out here get to you. All right, honey, good night. You have a good night's sleep, okay? Yeah, Amy, that's what I try to do. And, luckily, for whatever reasons, I have not really been hit with the hate end of this case. And I thank goodness for that. I don't know how I've missed that bullet, but I have. And I'm very thankful that I have, because that's one bullet I don't want no part of. Because I hate drama, I try my best to stay away from that. So there's a lot of talk going on tonight, Linda. Really? I didn't know. I hadn't saw it, I'm so proud of you, Cher. I told you, honey. I told you can do it, man. All you got to do is set your mind to it and just be determined. And I know you're a determined person, so you got this. But for right now, you better be listening to Mama. You better go take that bath and get you some rest, or you ain't gonna get to feeling no better. Yes, Gina, too much drama. Can't stand drama. I stay as far away from that as I can. That just is not my thing. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate that, honey. I truly do. Okay, now you go do what I'm saying, little lady. Good night. Love you, and you sleep good. And you hit me up when you're feeling better, because I'm going to be here. I am so happy to have you here. Communique. That's cool. I like that. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm so glad you joined our chat. We do have some Team Unjustified Night Owls. Hey, Foxy Lady. We do have some. That is awesome to know. I'm not the only vampire out here. Hey, Luann. Yeah, so I was just like, you know what? I can make a bedtime story, which I just did, or I can just do a live, because I saw I had a lot of comments on there, and I was like, well, you know what? Let me just do this, and maybe we can just kind of talk about it. And if any of you want to come up, and talk with me, that's cool too. I can throw the link out there, and you just hit the link and we'll talk about it. Thank you, Stardust. I really appreciate that, honey. Yeah, randomness, Lord, that's pretty much all I'm about, is randomness, really. I mean, I will research. Have you guys ever researched something and you thought you were so spot on, and you're like, oh my God, it makes sense now. But the more you research it, the more sense it makes. And then you turn around and your head's like in this twister, and you're like, you don't even know where to start to try to explain it to somebody else. But in your mind, you know what's up, but how do you get it out in words? I do that a lot, like with the gas can. Like, I knew what I wanted to say, but I still don't think I explained the way I was thinking of it good enough in the video. I was trying without just coming out and saying it. You know what I mean? Oh, Amy, that's okay, hon. No, I believe you're educated. I know you are. If you're in true crime, we have to be educated somewhat, right? But to be a member, I'm not sure. I don't think it is in, like if you're on a mobile phone, I don't think it's under the video, but in the description box, I've always got a little link there that you can click. Maybe one of my mods in here can throw that link out there if you're interested. Now, understand, hon, you don't have to be a member to listen to any of my content, because I don't play that way. You know, if I do something, whether you're a member, whether you're a passerby, whatever, I mean, I don't play that. But the members, they do get their names, and in the comments, you'll see them with their badge and different little, emojis. There's different little perks to it. And then I'll throw the shout outs for them. And what it does, it gives extra support to the channel. I think it's like $2 a month. YouTube takes like $1 and I get 99 cents. And it adds up. It just does. I've got me a mouse pad. I've got me a new mouse. I got me a new mic. So it just adds up, so, but you don't have to do it. Okay. Hey, Diamond. How are you doing tonight, hon? I would love for you to be a member, Amy. That would be awesome. I'll see if I can find the link and I'll throw it right here for you. If you want to be, I would appreciate it. Yeah, very much. Oh, really, Luann? Well, thank you. It's unreal to me. I never in my wildest dreams would have ever imagined, hey, Dave, anybody would want to hear me, or my thoughts, I mean, my family has no choice. I'm very outspoken when I am determined on something. And, you can imagine they get tired of hearing my thoughts and opinions and lectures, but I never in a million years thought anyone else would even care. But it's just every day it amazes me that, wow, people really like to hear me. Wow. You're right, Unique. Calm, Unique. You are completely right. Some of the narratives, and I'm one that I'm not going to be judgmental on people for their opinions. Now, I will say this, there's many opinions out there that I absolutely do not agree with. And to me, they're way too left outfield. And not only that, some of them I feel is even on borderline of being victim shaming. And those, for lack of better words, they just piss me off. So instead of entertaining them, I'll just walk away. I'm not going to sit there and I'm not going to dog on them for it. And I'm not going to give them hell for their opinion. At the same time, sometimes you can agree to disagree to a point, but there comes times when you're just like, there is no way I can ever agree with that. So what did our moms tell us? If you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all, and that's what I do. I just run from it. I don't want a part of it. Amy, I appreciate that. I've heard several people tell me that I've thought the same thing, and the way you said it is the exact same things I've thought. And that's cool, because now I don't feel so out there, on my opinions, because a lot of people seem to think the same way I do on a lot of things. And that's pretty cool. Okay, Baron, that sounds great. Well, I tell you what, if you want to, I can drop the link, and more than welcome to come up here right now and we can talk about it. Thank you, Gina. I appreciate that, hon. Sometimes I feel like I just don't want to put the same thing out there everybody else is putting out there. And like with the gas can, I didn't want to throw that same video we've all seen a million times out there, but it was relevant to what I was talking about. So that part of the video I thought was a good idea to put in there. Speak a different language. Yeah. I just really like that name, Randy Lynn. That's really pretty. Yeah, Dave's Cher's not feeling well. She's had to take COVID test and they were inconclusive. She's going to have to take another one. And yeah. It is hard not to judge, isn't it? And this case is hard not for your emotions. It's almost impossible for your emotions to not grab a hold of you when you're trying to form an opinion on this case. I mean, your emotions are like off the hook, right? But you can't really form, in my opinion, an adequate opinion if you're letting your emotions get in the way. And it's almost impossible not to do, really. That is right, Linda. We can all talk and be kind. I mean, what is the sense in, seriously, what is the sense in name calling and belittling and bashing? And I mean, that's ridiculous. Does it, I mean, to me, it's almost visualizing like an elementary playground, and all these kids are out there and they're like, you're it, no, you're it, no, you're it, no, you're not going to be on my team. It's just, I just don't fly that way, so I walk away from it. And that's why a lot of you see me kind of being the loner out here in the true crime community, because even though I will go into other lives and say hi to everyone, and as you notice, I don't really, I'm not really a part of anybody. I'm just us, y'all. We're just this little team. That's why I call us Team Unjustified. Yeah, that sounds great, Baron. Yeah, that sounds like something good to discuss. Would you like to come up here on panel and talk with us? That'd be great. Yeah, Luann, I agree. There is a creator, and I'm not going to mention the name or the group because I'm just not going to do that. I'm sure the majority of you knows who it is, but it's I will never. Let me put it that way. I will never, in a million years, ever agree with the fact that Shanann hurt her babies. That will never fly with me. Ever. And just to be honest, Chris could look me in the eyeball myself and tell me, not his spokesman or woman or whoever she is. Chris himself could look me in the eye and tell me that. I will never believe that. I'm so convinced that Shanann didn't hurt her babies. I am so convinced of that they could even pull up some damn DNA and try to prove to me that her DNA was on them kids. And I'm going to tell you what, the back of my mind would still tell me it was planted because Shanann wouldn't have hurt her babies. And people can disagree with me all they want to. That's fine. Everybody's got a right to their own opinion, and I'm not going to judge anybody for their opinion. I actually have people that I like and I care about that believes the same thing. Maybe Shanann did. I don't hate them. I'm just saying I will never, ever buy that. Sure, Baron. Let me go ahead and put the link up here, and that'd be great. I know the other people in here would love to hear it too. Thank you. John, I appreciate that. Okay, that'd be great. Calm and unique. Calm unique. That would be great. I just dropped the link. If anyone wants to click it, come up here and we can talk about it. And you can even show it, calm unique, what you're talking about. You can even show it to everyone else listening. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate that. Really, I do. Believe it or not, I put a whole lot of thought, research into the videos I make. I don't like to put anything out there that is going to be misleading in any way because I want people to have their own opinion. I don't want them to have mine. But, I think it's a good thing that we can all share them together. And sometimes if you share all these different opinions together, you can come up with one solid, one solid thing that really fits the bill and maybe that missing piece. Okay, here we got Baron. Fits the bill and maybe that missing piece. Okay, you there?
Oh, hello.
Hello. Okay, here we got Baron.
Hey.
Fits the bill and maybe that missing there.
Wait, I think I might have to turn the volume down.
Hello. Okay, here we got Baron. Fits the bill and maybe that missing there.
Wait, I think I might have to turn the volume down.
Hello.
Okay, there we go.
Thank you so much, Joni. Thank you so much, Joni. Can everybody hear us okay, or is there some kind of a lag in this? Because it does happen to me quite often when I do a live stream. It seems like I'll have a lag. Okay, Baron, are you still with us on?
Yeah, I'm here.
Are you still here?
Audio.
Hey, Baron, are you still with us on?
Yeah,
Hey, Baron, are you still here?
audio.
Are you still here?
Audio.
Hey, Baron, are you still with us on? Hey, Baron, are you still here? Are you still here?
Audio.
Hey, Baron, are you still with us on? Hey, Baron, are you still here? Are you still here?
Hello.
I think it could be maybe that you have, maybe you need to mute your actual YouTube part and just listen on the StreamYard part. That could be
Your name is
maybe what it is.
Kim, right? Hello.
I hear you.
Oh, you do hear me. Okay, that's great. Am I loud enough? I mean,
We'll
oh,
get
you do hear me.
we'll
Okay,
get
that's
this.
great.
Yeah,
Am
we'll
I
get
loud
this
enough?
fixed.
Okay. You sound great now. I muted the your regular show. Um, the thing is, I don't have a headphone and mic anymore. I have a new one coming because I do a lot of stuff connected to my old life. Podcasting is the big thing, and I've just been out of the loop for a while, but I've been really immersed in the work that you do, and especially you and two or three others that really focus and dig deep into the facts that have been revealed, which hasn't been done very often on this particular case. And people are going to have opinions no matter what. And sometimes people will pick an opinion that they know is wrong just to be, quote unquote, a Madonna. Remember when she sang at the Vatican in panties or whatever? I forget what it was, but that type of thing. And what you said about remember your mothers and such. I always have to.
Yeah.
I always have to remember that because sometimes I look at something at what it is and I call it out, and that's not always the best thing to do, especially publicly. So, um, like I said in the chat, unfortunately, I remember what my nanny thought
Well, it
out of my
can
mouth.
go both ways, hon. The way I look at it, you can call out things the way you see them. At the same time, you just got to be really careful how you call it out, because some people are very, very. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? They're very sentimental.
Exactly, I know exactly what you're saying. So I came on here to just shower you with appreciation for. I remember in the beginning, or not in the beginning, shortly after, you explained your beginnings and beginning to become such a big investigator and with such a large following, how it started and how you grew and met people and expanded your knowledge of doing this type of work. And I was so knocked out and impressed. I'm tech unsavvy. I still watch reruns of Charlie's Angels on whatever YouTube or if you know what I mean, on on the computer. Even though I worked on sitcoms and stuff in the
Yeah,
90s.
there's nothing wrong with that.
What's that? Oh, don't crash. Hey, Kim, you there?
I'm here now. I think I had a really bad delay, but yeah, I'm here now.
Oh, oh, okay. I was just going on a rant about my old life and just really you've changed my opinions on a lot of things, but I would like to share a small piece of what I think the gas can and such was about. I might have left it in different comments on the couple of shows people's podcasts I follow. It has to do more so with um, the
I
dogs.
would absolutely love to hear them.
Okay, the best way to throw off a scent for tracking dogs or for investigative dogs is two chemicals that I remember from school. Gasoline and ammonia are the best way to throw off the scent of a tracking dog, and it won't so much throw off the scent, but it will destroy their ability. You know, that special ability where they can pinpoint what humans can't. And the best way to have that done with the trackers, um, say they could smell the gas or a slight bit of ammonia. If you leave a gas can out in the open, they'll go, "Oh, that's why I smell it." But remember when the women walked into the house with the tracking dog, she's like, "Wow, they really cleaned in here. It smells like like chemicals." If you cross the threshold when the dogs enter or wherever they start, you destroy their sense of smell in the beginning, and then you'll hit again, say, across the threshold. So when you walk in, you won't smell ammonia when it's mixed with carpet fresh and Glade freshener and such. So that was one thing I really thought of when, especially when we saw the comments that the tracker was making. And the dog, yes, they did have certain hits, but I think that might have been where they got a big whiff of, say, ammonia mixed with carpet fresh or something. They kind of like whelp, because of course it hurts to take a big sniff of ammonia, you know? So I was wondering if you thought of that at all, or if that has ever crossed your mind in theory. So I was
Right.
wondering if
I haven't thought of that, but that makes really, really good sense. I mean, that's a real good thought. That's very interesting.
I feel like I'm revealing how to get away with murder. No, it's horrible. But another thing I thought of as far as transporting of the bodies to the truck, um, their full release of how their remains were found was incomplete, or it was very evasive. It was a very generic, it wasn't, from what I've seen before, it wasn't a full autopsy result. My heart feels that there might have been some dismemberment, because he had all those barrels and all of those what am I saying? The barrels and the the storage bins. And if you remember, the dogs did have some hits on some of those things, and the easiest way to transport a body would be throw it into one of those barrels and then just lug it down the stairs and out to the car, and then from where he backed it into his garage from the driveway, all you have to do is kind of just dump it into the back of his truck, whatever the contents were. That's an example. It's a theory, but that's where I don't find um, I don't have any sense of completeness with what we've been given as far as the remains. You know what I'm saying? So that was something I had wondered about as well.
Yeah, I mean, I love that thought. I'm gonna have to. Now you've got me thinking again, because that's a very, very good theory and breakdown. See, I went. I thought about the E85 because it's such a powerful, alcohol. And I thought, well, many people has had the concept that maybe he put it in the drinking water or maybe, in the pipes. See, that never crossed my mind either, that part. What did cross my mind was maybe he put it over her face or, the whole chloroform was out there. And I thought, well, if that concept can be out there, then what about this E85? He was very interested in that gas can, in my opinion.
The best way to make something inconspicuous is to just put it right out like, oh, I see that, and you wouldn't even pay attention to it because he had a bunch of weird stuff in his truck, and you know, and it's very suspicious about how things just kept appearing that weren't there before. Like, where's your pocketbook? Oh, there it is. And then where's the cell phone? Oh, here it is. It seems like maybe that's why he flew into the house and like tried to scramble to hide things. But I think once the kid found the cell phone, he hauled her pocketbook out and kind of left it in view. You understand what I'm saying? So I just, the whole thing was just too professional for some dumb. So I think
Yeah.
for Chris, I think it was really professional for somebody like Chris to kill people and clean up. And I don't think there was, of course, there was no plans on the other Nikki, showing up for Shanann, you know. So I and the cops being there and such, it was left almost incomplete. So at that point, a lot of people were saying, why did they money the house? At that point, the girlfriend, the husband, all those people were right there saying, where is she? So of course the house is going to get muddy because it wasn't a crime scene yet. You know. So of course the
Right.
house is going to get muddy.
I'm still fighting with my sound over here. I think I've still got a delay. And I'm so disappointed because I want to hear everything you're saying when you say it.
Well, we can do it another time. I just wanted to.
I think I got it fixed now. I think we're working on a good level now. But yes, I heard most of it. I'm going to go back and listen to the rest of it. But what I heard, it's great. I mean, I love it. I wished you could make a video of it. I'd love to see that.
Well, I sent you a quick email with just a couple of like 2 or 3 sentences that explains how I
Oh,
would like
you
to work.
did? Okay, God, I need to go check that then.
That's that's an introduction on how I would like to work with you. At some point, if you're willing, um, I, I I have a lot of work that I can do, but I recently lost my mom, and
Oh, I'm sorry.
no, it's just a bunch of stuff. It's just a bunch of stuff. I've invested a lot in stepbrothers and sisters, and um, I bought my mom this house I'm living in, and they're trying to evict me from the house I bought my mom. I mean, it's
Oh
ridiculous.
my God. Yeah, that's
So,
that's ridiculous. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm so
I,
sorry.
yeah. Um, if you Google my name, I think you'll probably find who I work with a lot. She was a famous blonde. She is a famous blonde, but she writes a lot now. She works
Oh,
behind the
okay.
scenes. So it's funny that the two of us were quote unquote intelligent. She's really smart. She's a physics genius, but
Yeah.
she always played the dumb blonde. And
Yeah.
I played the dumb blonde jock with the deep voice, and it was it was hysterical. But as far as this goes, the other thing I wanted to put in there about the drug, the oxycontin, oxycodone. So,
Yeah.
um,
What do you think about that?
well, I don't think it could have come from his mistress as well as I have a really good feeling it came from his family. Um,
See, I don't think so. See, I don't get that one. Um,
do you
I,
remember when they went? Um, she There was a point where she was sending texts saying, "I am scratching from head to toe. I can't pee. I've never felt like this before."
oh
So
yeah, I do remember that. And yeah, that is definitely signs of codeine.
exactly, or any the old OxyContin. You used to be able to take 80 milligrams, which would administer 5 milligrams intermittently for 12 hours. But if you
Hmm.
crushed the whole thing, you'd get like a big heroin type dose. There are ways
Oh,
to break down the new oxycodones, the time released ones, chemical wise. And somebody who would take a big dose wouldn't notice it because they would fall asleep. That's how so many heroin people die. But the people that die from taking opioids like Percocet and such, they don't necessarily die from the opiate part of it. They're killing themselves toxin wise by the Tylenol base that's in it. So fentanyl is a whole other level. I mean, people that get that on the street are just licking it up.
yeah, I don't know much at all about that. Of course, I've done some research on it, but not enough to make any calls on anything. As far as where he got it, I can't go with him getting it from his family
I think
because she had that reaction the first night he got there,
right.
and he hadn't seen his family yet because he got straight off the plane. She picked him up, and took him with her. And at that point, he hadn't seen any of his family yet, which led me to believe that he probably brought it with him. That's why my theory. And of course, there's many people believe that he could have got it from his family, and that's okay. But I just can't go with that one. Where do you think he got it?
I think he could have gotten it from both. I think his girlfriend, I have a theory that she was an ex or a recovered heroin or type addict, just based on the fact that she's really intelligent when it comes to her science part.
I agree.
She sounds like a dumb, like, uh, there's something that happens a lot to uh, heroin addicts newly recovered. They have a very type of robotic voice, and their speech patterns started to really match uh, Chris's and Nikki's. Uh, Remember when they were in the laundry room and the cop says, "What's going on?" And he's like, "And I don't know where they went." You know what I mean? He just started.
Yeah, yeah.
He just started using the same diction she did. And being around his wife, I do it now. I throw in fillers all the time because my brain never works a lot. You know,
I know what you mean. I do know what you mean there.
well, I throw in a lot of and I don't usually do that if I'm speaking up. Oh God, here I go. So um, he could have gotten it from her, or like he said, there could have been an old stash in the basement. But for her to out of the blue say, "I am scratching from head to toe," she would have realized that that type of reaction had she really been into taking oxycodone or content or any of those opioids before.
Yeah, you would think that she would recognize what's going on with her. I agree, but with her being pregnant, she could have thrown it off as hormones. But I agree with that whole scratching and throwing up, and yeah, that's all symptoms of codeine. If you're allergic to it, you'll do it really bad.
I don't know how much you believe in the paranormal, and I'm going to throw this out there and really put my little piece of my face on the line that people can see it. Is that I was raised as a Catholic. I'm a Catholic Jew, if that makes any sense. Don't ask. I was raised by my
It's okay. Yeah.
I was I was raised by my Irish Catholic grandmother. I have five other siblings, but I was raised with her and I alone, and I would come to visit my family, and we are very different because my grandmother was a maid for a wealthy family, and they were more like family to my grandmother and I than my own siblings. The only person I knew was my mom, who I saw almost every day. But looking back, I know um, my grandmother had a lot of gifts. My mother had them, but they weren't as sharp as my grandmother's. This intuition piece. But if you're an Irish Catholic, quote unquote, you do old country Catholicism where you believe in people that uh, have psychic, say, abilities. But then there were a lot of superstitions thrown in and stuff like that. But I don't know if it was by growing up with her, but I have a lot of intuition around people I meet or in person. And I just have a really bad feeling about his sister and her husband. I don't know if you want that on there. That's my opinion. And
No, I mean, if it's an opinion, you're not bashing nobody. You got a God given right to that opinion on
right.
straight
And,
up.
and God forgive me if I'm wrong. And to their family, I am so sorry you lost people if you cared about them, if you lost people you love, and I'm sorry your son's in jail. Yes, that sucks, but
Yeah,
he's still a murderer and he still murdered your grandchildren, and you need to stop bashing the innocent unless you can present facts. You know,
yeah, it's
there's no truth in anything that anybody is pulling out of their butt, from whoever these new criminal profilers and such are. You know,
oh Lord.
there was one I had uncovered who their real identity was, and she's back to doing, so I just, my heart goes out to her family who just, they have no chance to mourn. But it's people like you that are setting the record straight and are sticking to the facts as far as what you know and what you see, and as far as what we've seen and what the family is saying, the only people that have a bad word to say about Shanann are Chris's family or some of Chris's friends, saying she was a control freak or this or that, but still they never said she was a junkie or that they were, even if they did have sex playtimes and such, which I doubt because she seemed very modest to me, uh,
Yeah.
and very much into her children and family, and as far as her doing that social media crap, I doubt she really wanted to do that, but that was the best option she had, I believe, as far as making or taking a chance on a new company, making money from home. And if you look at what she did, she was, what was she, a top three, or, she did really well. So
Oh yeah. And you can imagine that it was a lot of work for her. Hey sweetheart, you did make it up here. I'm so happy to see you.
uh, well, I'll let you go. Your name is Kim.
Oh, you don't have to leave, hon. You can sit here. We can all talk unless you just want to.
Oh no, I'll stay. I want to listen, so I'll just be
Yeah,
quiet.
you can stay.
Hi, Miss Justified.
Hey sweetheart. How are you doing tonight? We got Baron up here with us as well, as you know.
Hello there.
She's probably happened to set her sound up like we did while ago.
Oh,
it
oh.
it
I'm
can be tricky.
Your
yes.
voice.
Hello, Baron.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's coming in.
I just want to say two things. Your name
Uh-huh.
is Kim, right? Unjustified
Yeah,
Kim.
Kim.
Kim,
Yes.
you sound like that nighttime lady love broadcast.
Oh no, is it?
I forget her name, but I just love her, and I read her book online.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good thing then.
Yeah, she. Do you know who I'm talking about? Something
I
like
don't.
she sends out love songs and gives
Oh,
advice. I'll think of her name in a minute. And the new gal that just joined, I don't know who you are, but
that is Come Unique. Come Unique.
Communique, your voice sounds like the other version of the nighttime love song lady that you hear up here in the Boston area. She's got the low Stevie Nicks, sexy kind of voice.
Oh no.
So it's like I got the best, you know.
All
With
right.
me.
That's cool. So you don't have to leave. You can just sit there right in between us and listen and talk to
I'll be,
any.
I just
Yeah,
hear you guys. Thank you.
yeah. I can get up to 10 on here. So if anyone else wants to come and join the panel, that'd be great. I didn't even know if we'd get anybody on tonight, but I'm like, surely we got some night owls in here. Surely I'm not the only one.
You guys can't see me, right?
Yeah, I see your photo. Yeah.
Oh, but you can't see me, right? I have my camera off.
No, I don't
Hello.
I don't see a camera. I tell you
Okay, I'm
what, though.
caught on a delay.
Yeah, it happens, honey, when you first come in. We just went through that too. But the first of the year, I'm going to revert over and I'm going to start doing lives with my cam because I'm getting a
Okay, so what
cam.
do I have to do to get off the delay so I'm not talking over you?
I don't even know what we did, hon. I
Turn
can't
off,
remember.
silence your YouTube video.
Yeah.
Nope, that's all done, Baron. I think what might need to happen this first time around is if we're patient and we don't wait too long, but long enough.
It's happening again.
To reply, look how long I'm delayed.
Hey, Sky. And hey, Deco Paint. Erin. Y'all know how bad I am with words. So I'm going to call you Deco. Deco Paint. How's that?
Okay, I'm going to hit refresh and see if that fixes it.
Okay, Amy, that'd be great. Come on up with us.
I told you I was concerned I would make a fool of myself trying to do this.
No. You're really not. I promise. I had the same issue a while ago. I have the
here
link
I am
pinned at top, everyone, in
and
case
here
you want
I
to join
am
the
trying
panel.
to convince Lynette. Oh, come on in. StreamYard is easy.
It can be annoying. I think we might have did too, Lynette.
Yeah, I can't get on track here. I'm still behind.
I can't even see you up on the. I changed my audio choices. I took my camera off and I left it to computer audio. There's a click on your choices.
Baron.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got a delay. It's okay. It should level out in a moment. Mine did. Bless her heart. It's so aggravating. I know it is.
Well, let me step out.
Baron, I have a cover over my camera. When I first entered,
I sound like a cartoon. That's cool. That's better than other things.
Yeah. If I can't fix this, I'll have to jump out and try it another time.
Oh, I'm sorry, hon. I know it's annoying and aggravating. Happens to me.
I can jump out and maybe come back if you get it fixed up. But I want to watch anyway for a while.
Okay, we got Chatterbox with us too, Baron.
Chatterbox.
Hello, Chatterbox.
Well, listen, don't leave, Baron. Don't leave, Baron, but just...
Thank you, Sky.
Never mind, I'm out.
No.
Okay, how's Chatterbox doing?
I think everything's working good now. Can everybody hear everybody okay?
You having any better luck? I can hear fine. It's just when I talk, I'm talking over you because I am on a delay. It looked to me like I'm anxious to hear Chatterbox.
Are you still there, Baron?
I'm here.
Okay. Just making sure.
I just put mute on in case I was affecting other people.
Yeah, I don't think it's that, hon. I think when someone new comes in, they will have that little delay for a few minutes, like I did. Maybe. I don't know.
It would be great to have a discussion with a bunch of people.
Oh, wouldn't it, though? I would really enjoy that.
But I feel like I don't have
I
headphones. Do you think that's
I think
I don't
something
think
else
so.
needs to be done.
No, I don't think it. I don't really think it's headphones. I believe maybe you got two windows open for
Miss
YouTube.
Chatterbox.
If you have YouTube and StreamYard open, it will give a delay. But you have to kind of mute your YouTube and then listen
Oh,
through.
you bet.
Bubble.
Okay, I just closed one of them, but now I don't see the chat.
I have windows open. Hang on.
To the top, and there's a long dark hall with three speakeasy. But there are
Say something, Miss Chatterbox.
I'm having trouble too. You can hear me.
And Chatterbox, are you with us? Can you hear us okay? Oh no, Lynette, you lost your dad to COVID and your sister. Oh my. I'm so sorry, hon. Baron has recently lost his mother too.
I am so sorry to somebody who lost somebody. It's so heartbreaking.
This has been one kind of year, hasn't it? For everybody, it really has. It's like, it's got to get better, soon.
I'm closing a bunch of my other windows that I had open.
Yeah, I don't think it's you, hon. I really don't think it's nothing you're doing because I hear you just great.
Oh, and I hear you, and I hear that new gal just great as well. But I think it might be with her audio, not her speech.
Yeah, I couldn't really make out what she was saying. Chatterbox, are you with us, hon? That's so funny about the hairdresser story. While I was telling that story, after I got done telling it and I was sitting there editing it, I was like,
Hello
oh my
again.
God, why did I put all of that in there? Like, I'm going to bore everybody to death with that.
Hi there. You sound great.
Hello?
Hello, who is that one? That's Communique. I know I can't say that right.
So, Miss Unjustified, did Chatterbox ever speak?
I think she was having some audio difficulties. She is back down in the waiting room, but here she is. Let me put her back in the stream. There she is. Hopefully she can hear us now.
I'll be quiet. I'll
No,
be
you're
quiet
fine.
until she speaks, because right now I still think I've got a problem.
I think she's having a problem now with audio. Oh, yes, Devil's Breath, Randy.
I did.
Absolutely. I don't know if you've ever watched my video, but I have a
Yes, the way I
video
do it is, you
that is
know,
Devil's Breath. And yeah, definitely. And the Devil's Breath and scopolamine has always never left the back of my mind. I'm just saying, it never left. Oh, and Baron, you have a message on screen, hon.
Lynette, I'm sorry, I almost lost mom too.
you're very good at this, Unjustified.
Well, thank you very much. I'm pretty new at this, really. Very, really. I'm definitely not like one of the big guys out there. I'm just, I'm my own little world over here. But I got all my buddies, all you guys, so, I mean, there's some channels like 50, 100,000 people. I don't need all that. I just
But I
need,
think
you know, I just need my
what I
people.
think is really, oh my God, can you let me get a word in now that I'm in there?
I'm sorry. Yes, go ahead.
Uh-oh, that was bad. That was bad. But right now, while we're on delay, it's until Miss Chatterbox gets in here. I don't know how to do it. I mean, if I pull out the earbuds that's on delay, then I'll be on delay. And again, I don't want to talk over anybody, and I don't want to say silly stuff like that thinking I've taken a break. See, we don't know how long somebody else will pause. Okay, so just for the heck of it, I'm going to tell you that Unjustified, you're very good at this because you are able to hear or read the chat as well as hear what's going on in there. Me, I can't see the chat or hear what's going on in there. Okay, I'm taking a breather.
I want to throw out.
Whose turn is it next?
I just want to throw out to Lynette in Iowa. I know I don't want to get into religion or faith or what have you, but I will do a Hail Mary novena for you and your family. It's just a heartbreaking time for all of us, especially us in mourning or people unable to go see and be in person with our elders and such. It kills me, and uh, I watched another video where they were blaming Pope Francis, and I'm like, oh God, get off the cross. It's this is a pandemic. It's more than one guy being a hero going out and administering to people. It's not that one guy. It's what that guy brings home or to his other people that is spreading the sickness in such a harsh way. my opinion. But I'm so sorry for your loss, and I got through it by watching Unjustified, and I like Zap Girl. Uh, my friend Liddy, I have a Hollywood friend that does podcasts as well, and I just think that Kim, I think you should uh, look at. There's a channel called Beats and Eats that I've worked with. They're
Hmm.
um, they're on Stitcher, and I had a show with them with my friend, and so my mom got real sick with her. She had this rapid Alzheimer's that happened so fast, and then she disappeared into a stroke. But she started doing things like saying I don't know. I wound up with a broken leg, unable to get out of bed for 9 months, and my dad. It was just on one on top of another on top of another. I'm sorry. I know this isn't therapy, but
No, that's fine. That's
just
fine.
just to throw out there, my therapist since 1996 died 9 months ago, 6 months ago. I'm like, are you
Oh
kidding?
no.
It was horrible, and
You're
I,
right.
I really wish. No, I don't wish. I could really, I don't know. If wishes were horses, then beggars would ride.
Right, right.
So, but I have my partner and I have my faith, and love is something that's the only thing that remains.
Please,
The one.
please, may I interrupt?
Go ahead.
Okay, you'll forgive me that I'm a little bit nervous, and boy, listen to how loud I am. I can't hear it except for on delay.
I think you sound great.
Yeah.
First of all, I wanted to say to Baron and Ms. Lynette, my deepest of condolences go out to you and your family.
Thank you. It's nice to know that you guys aren't really strangers out there. You know, and
No,
Random. How's
we're
everyone's
Team
weather?
Unjustified.
I'm sorry.
My weather's cold. It's cold here.
I haven't been out to LA since the pandemic started, but I've been living here in Boston.
Yes, it's cold and damp here.
Where are you?
It's probably cold there too.
It's so cold. That's why I'm a soprano.
In Boston.
Yeah.
So,
So,
who else was getting ready to come up here? Is she having difficulties too?
Chatterbox was having difficulties. I'm not sure. Is someone else want to come up and talk? Come on.
Kim, I'm going to say this, and to that lovely
I
lady
th-
with nothing
I
cute.
think Miss Randy was accepting your offer.
Well, I'm going to sign off now and see if that helps out. And I had my turn, and I want to tell you guys, the joke about therapy wasn't really a joke because we all have each other at this time. And
Yes, and Baron, if you ever want to talk to me, just holler at me, okay? I'll be there for all you guys. I really will.
help, Kim, help me, please.
Yeah, anytime, really.
I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna turn on to your channel and sign out here. But God bless you all, and stay safe and well, and remember that love never dies, and those we lose, it's the love that remains. That's a
That's
wonderful.
right.
God
That's right.
bless.
Thank you for coming, Baron. I really appreciate it, hon. It's great talking to you. Yes, Gina, just having somebody
Thank you,
that's,
Susie.
even if it's late at night like this.
Jeepers, does it ever get to a point where you don't need air conditioning in Texas? Ms. Unjustified, I apologize. There's nothing worse than talking over someone and knowing that it's because it's operator manual.
Oh yeah, honey, don't worry. It's not nothing you're doing. It's nothing you're doing. You're not talking over me.
Malfunction is the word I meant to say. I can hear myself talking over you.
It's probably just maybe your delay. I don't know, but
Operator error.
yeah, you're right, Gina. That's so true. I don't know what it is with me. I've always had an insomnia problem. I don't know what the situation is, but
Yes, it's definitely the delay, Miss.
yeah, it is. It definitely is a delay. I was hoping for that. I was hoping it would be good and thorough and
I don't
people would
take
understand where I was
over
going with
and
it.
talk. But I could probably do as well as Baron did.
Oh yeah, Baron's great. That is actually the first time I've gotten to speak with him. He comments on the videos a lot, but I've never actually gotten to speak with him, and it was great. I was very glad I got to talk to him and you. This is my first time meeting you as well. Yeah, doing pretty good, Susie. How are you feeling tonight?
Yes, it is the first time, and like I said, it's terribly embarrassing because I keep talking over you, and I think I'm just gonna jump back out. I'm embarrassed.
It's not what you're doing, it's the delay. It does happen. I wish I could tell you what to do to fix it, but I don't know what to do.
Well, if you could give me a minute just to tell you a little bit, and then I'll pay more attention to the chat and watch you do it, okay?
Yeah, just go ahead and tell us because I'm very interested in listening.
Okay, here I go. I have this account here. It's over 5 years old, but I didn't really start coming to post on YouTube until last year. I came out on another really important murder suicide case. We don't really know for sure what it was. But anyways, I posted for about 6 months. I went down many rabbit trails, and I can't tell you that without telling you the name. The name was Isaac Cappy. Okay? So I left after about 5-6 months, and then I came back again in July of this year because someone came out with the most elaborate LARP I'd ever heard of. They came out and started claiming that they knew Isaac was murdered and blah, blah, blah. Now, I don't want to change the subject to Isaac because I don't know if you've ever spoken on him. But what I'm basically saying is I haven't yet been posting on YouTube for a year yet. I don't know what to do with my channel outside throw out playlists. I'm very brand new at joining lives. I think I've done this a half a dozen times, And I think only once or twice did it work out exactly the way it was supposed to. Because like I said, I'm serious. It's terribly embarrassing to want to talk, but you really don't want to talk over anyone. And with this delay that I don't know how to figure out yet, it's going to happen. So that's my story so far. As for the Watts, yeah, I mean, I just started watching that 2 months ago and I was astounded. I'm like, why is he back in the news again? Him and Scott Peterson. Well, since then, I've adjusted and I've researched and I've looked, and now I know why. In this Watts case, I can't remember the last time I was so fired up over the saddest story. Okay, I'm going to take a breather here.
Yeah, I completely agree. This case is completely sad. It's so terrible. You hear of horrible cases every day, but there's just something about this one that I don't know, it just sticks with you and it just follows you. And I mean, you can even be in town and see something and it'll remind you of this case. I personally never ever had another case stay in my head like this one does.
Yeah, it's kind of taken over my thoughts. And I think I understand now that people started coming out again after that Netflix thing, for which I've not seen, what upset me to the core, I can't even express how upset, was the way that they're bashing and trying to throw this all off on Shanann, and then to be rude to Nate and Nicole Atkinson, as if, they're horrible people, and poor Chris. Oh my God. Then you've got these new channels. You've got KK and all that stuff there. You have the Kissinger family come out with all that. You got, certain members being blamed for certain things going on. And again, what a wild roller coaster ride it's been.
Ain't that the truth? What do you think about that whole Kessinger thing? Do you think that was really the family or just somebody, another troll wanting attention? Or what do you think about that?
Oh dear, I honestly cannot voice my opinion on that because it's not solid yet. However, what I believe about this Watts case now, I absolutely do. I'm with you, and I absolutely do not believe Shanann killed her babies. Yes, she was distraught. She was tired. She was, okay, she was a meanie and she didn't let poor Chris be his real self. Okay. I'm sorry. It shouldn't lead to murder. I know why this is stuck so much in our minds. It's the oil tanks. It's him stuffing his babies in the oil tanks. I mean, everything about it was horrible, but the oil tanks with his babies.
Yeah, that's almost incomprehensible. There's no excuse, there's no words for that. Hello, Susie. Glad to see you up here, hon. How are you doing tonight?
Okay, so I have two
I'm
questions.
Can you hear me?
I have two questions, and then I'm going to find out who just came
I'm
in this
doing
chat.
fine. I can hear you.
Hi, Susie. I'm pretty loud.
No, it probably just sounds loud to you. I think I sound very loud to myself too. But you don't sound loud to us.
Well, I
Agree.
am listening through the earbuds, okay? Oh no, Miss Susie dropped out. I hope it wasn't anything I said.
No, I think she just had a connection. And Sky, I just don't know about that Kim chick. I'm not going to lie to you. At one point, I was asked to work with her before she made a channel. And I was like, who is she?
Listen
And
to
then
me.
she comes up here and I look one of her
Listen
videos
to
and I'm
me.
like, yeah, I can't work with her. Our opinions are way different. Hello, Turquoise. Thank you. Thank you so much, hon.
Miss Kim, um, I can give an opinion about Kim.
Okay, I don't know the lady. I don't know anything about her, but I know I don't agree with her. That's about all I know.
Okay. None of us know her, unjustified. She came like a wrecking ball out of nowhere. She's had her channel for 3 years, and yet she just decided now, okay? What I think is she is a smooth talker. She's definitely all about marketing, and it is true that she may have shared a few things that others haven't heard. However, the people that have been paying attention, the people that have looked at Discovery, the people that have looked at the videos, those people are not at all, we're not at all taken in by Kim, nor her approach to this, okay? And it's unfortunate that the few channel, I don't know, the 2 channels she's been on, no, okay, I'll just say 1 channel, they all seem so biased. It's so difficult to watch.
Oh yeah, I mean, that I've saw a lot of bias as well. Even though it's her opinion, at the same time, it does seem kind of biased. I try not to sound that way. I try to say all, both families are victims. Let's not trash or shame anybody. At the same time, I feel it's damn close to victim shaming what's going on over there, and I don't like it. I don't agree with it, and so I just, I stay away from it. I don't agree with her. So that's that.
Well, you're very tactful and you're very kind and you have a soft-spoken voice, and that is why we gravitate to you. We don't hear bias in your voice. We hear sincerity. We hear a real desire to just know a few more facts, so that we can get them in that puzzle without trying to beat it there. See, like I said, I'm watching your Discovery videos and I'm learning a lot. I want to ask a question. So many have seen that video, and I almost do not even want to say the word shadow because so many want to discount that. And I swear, I think some of them that are doing that, they have not seen the shadow that I believe is the absolute proof that those babies were alive when he left that house, or at least one of them, and I can imagine it was Bella.
Yeah, I've often questioned was one of them already gone when they left the house. I've questioned that many times as well. There's a shadow that many believe that is one of the kids. I can't say for certain, but I can say it does look like one. And so I do believe at least one of them was still alive when they left the house.
I do as well. Did you do a video on that Unjustified?
You know, I actually never did do a video on the whole shadow thing because there was so many people that did, and I felt like it had kind of got blown out of proportion into this and this tale, that tale, this theory, that theory. So I never did, and I never did one on the whole ponytail and the girl walking out the door. I never did nothing like that because it was just too many that was doing videos on it, and I didn't feel 100% either way, so I just never did. Yeah, I agree, Dave. That's exactly why I didn't touch on it.
Unjustified, I think that I feel 100% that moving shadow that came up to Chris and he bent down and picked up and put in the cab, I have no doubt it's one of the babies.
It absolutely appears to be a child. I say that too. For a while, I have to be honest, I was kind of, I wasn't sure. I was like, is it the dog? Is it the dog? But then when I watched him really closely pick it up and he didn't go back to the house, he went to the cab of the truck. Well, then that kind of answered my question. Whatever he picked up was it he put in the truck with him. He didn't take it back in the house.
Okay, I have one more thing to say, and then I'm going to jump off here because someone else is new. I'm going to go ahead and jump off. But I will say that I think that looking at all the evidence again really is worth it because many of us have not seen it all. And we can't discount anything. We can't discount anything at all. Chris Watts is where he is, and he belongs to be there for the rest of his miserable life.
Oh, yeah. He's there for a reason. He said that himself. So, yeah. I mean, you're completely right there. He is definitely not an innocent person, and I will never believe he is.
Okay, so I see there's somebody in there. I don't know who it is, and I see that Seeking the Truth with Dave would like to join your chat. So I'm going to go ahead and bow out. I thank you very much for letting me join. I hope never to again have a delay. Good night.
Good night, hon. Thanks for coming.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear us?
Hi.
Hey.
Yeah, I can. Hi.
Great.
My first time being on anything on
Oh,
YouTube.
really? I'm privileged. Thank you. Thank you for coming on with us.
Sure. What were you talking about before the problems with Streamlab?
Oh, I think she was just having a delay. When I first came on the night, I was having a delay as well. So,
Yeah.
but we were discussing.
It off of mute. It was fine. So yeah. So what were you and Baron discussing though earlier?
We were discussing the gas can. He had a really good theory on that, and we were discussing some of the different video uploads I did, and just pretty much randomness,
Mm-hmm.
So you have at it, hon. Let's just talk about it.
So yeah, no, I like listening to your videos because you're just kind of I guess you have a relaxed approach, and you're not judgmental. And
No.
I would hate to have Kim come on your show.
Yeah, I was actually.
Oh goodness, I would not want to.
Yeah, I was actually asked to work with her. I'm not going to say who asked me, but it was either way. I was like, I don't know, and I found out she was going to be making a channel, and so I was like, I don't know, let me check out her channel, because I'm very funny about that, because I don't like a bunch of conspiracy, and I damn sure ain't going to deal with victim shaming. So
Right. Gaslighting like
yeah,
crazy.
it ain't. Yeah, it just ain't going to happen. And
Mm-hmm.
so I went and seen one of her videos, and I knew real quick that wasn't going to be for me.
Mm-hmm.
So
I really have to wonder if um, Chris Watts knows she's doing this.
I
I
wonder.
do. I question that at times. I don't know. I can't say one way or the other, but um, his mom was so adamant about him not taking a deal
Right.
and fighting. We want you to fight it, and it's pointless to fight it unless he wants to have one life sentence instead of 4,
Yeah,
3 or 4.
I can't.
I
Hi,
don't know why
Dave.
she's on this
Can you,
tangent. It's just
Right.
crazy to me. Hi, Dave.
hi, can anybody hear me?
I can. I want to introduce everyone to Dave. I've just recently met him myself. He's very, very knowledgeable in this case. He's been following it. He is a moderator for J for Justice. Isn't that right? Isn't that where I met you?
It is, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. And
Oh my gosh, it's Dave.
yeah,
Hi,
I haven't
Dave.
really
Dave
gotten to
is
talk
not
to him that
from
much, but
Europe. He's from Australia.
I'm from
Okay.
Australia, yes.
Yes.
See, I didn't even know that. I haven't really had the chance to talk to him yet, but glad to have him with us.
His theory. He had a theory on Jay's channel.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear it. He told me.
I've got a few theories, and Nicole Atkinson's part of them, and her son is part of them.
Oh, I love this accent. Okay, I can listen to this. This is great.
And yeah, I just like. Oh, I love your channel. I really,
Thank
really
you
do.
so
I mean,
much.
I love Jay's channel, obviously, because she's helped me build myself
I
up a
don't know
little bit.
much about Jay's channel. I sound so bad when I say this, but I've never actually been to her channel until I was sent over there, for the live chat. But yeah, she seems pretty cool.
She's very good, and she doesn't bash.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Other channels, which is
right.
wonderful. And I'm banned from a couple of channels, but we won't go there. Purely because I'm a fan of Jay's.
Oh, that's sad. That's not right. I mean,
yeah, I know.
That's wrong.
Yep, absolutely. But I've spoken with Kim at length on a few of Jay's shows, and she's very out there. And she's just because my theory is Nicole Kessinger, but Kim just shuts it down because it's not part of getting Chris out, or getting Chris into court. So so she just shuts down anything about Nicole Kessinger almost instantly. So my theory, do you want to know about it? Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Nicole Atkinson came over and looked after Dita the weekend before when the Watts family was in North Carolina. She came and fed Dita, or she did something with the dog. So she actually had keys to the house and a remote, and she knew the remote code, the code to get into the garage. Her and her son came over there earlier in the day. He said he walked around the house for 40 minutes trying to get in. I believe he got in straight through the back door. The front latch, the door latch that Chris had to, that was actually locked when the police turned up, I believe was locked by Nicole or Nicholas. They had already been in the house prior to the police turning up, in my opinion, because she had no urgency when she went in the house. None whatsoever. She didn't run upstairs. She didn't yell out Shannon. She didn't So I just think that's a big part of the whole thing. Is I think she's told some, well, I'll say my Aussie term, porcupines, which is like fibs. And
Oh yeah. There's that in this case. There's much of that. I mean, everywhere.
yes, yeah, all the main players of in America, they call it hindering an investigation. I don't understand why nobody else was charged with anything at all, especially what Nicole Kessinger went and did by deleting pretty much everything she could.
Absolutely, that's destroying evidence. And
It is.
I mean, she knew about what was going on when she deleted them. She knew she was doing wrong.
Absolutely. I mean, she admitted it while she was flirting with every officer that she could flirt with. Was just her way. I think it's just natural. It comes natural to her. When she's the center of attention and there's men in the room, I think that's who she is. I'm not saying she's a tart or a floozy or anything like that. It's just how she comes across. And
well, yeah, that's how she carries herself. I mean, you're going to be treated the way you act. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yep, absolutely. And something I read only today, well, actually, I read it about a year ago, then lost it. I don't know what happened to this piece of information, but there was something that was shared with me today by a friend of mine involved with the case. And she's given me a little bit of information in regards to, I think it's the grey truck that Betty, the next door neighbour, said she saw outside the house. Nicole Kessinger actually owned a grey truck, smaller than Chris's. And Betty says she saw it outside the house at 5:15 in the morning when she left to go to work.
Absolutely, and her mother also drove a black SUV.
Yep. But that car was actually always pretty much lived at her mother's house. And when Betty got back from the gym or wherever she went that day, the SUV was there at midday. Or that greyish coloured vehicle was actually outside the Watts house.
Yes, and when the vehicles were being impounded, and I know you remember this, one of the news reporters actually said there was another truck being impounded away, another truck that wasn't Chris's, but they didn't know at the time that if it had anything to do with the case. That is what the news reporter said, and I'm sure you remember that. Well, if you'll also remember, Betty said she thought maybe all the police were there because someone had called and reported that truck to have it impounded. So it makes you wonder, was the truck that the news reporter talking about the same one Betty was talking about?
Well, there's too many coincidences in this case for there not to be a coincidence, so to speak. There's just too many.
Yeah, exactly. I have
occurred.
I have a video, and I named it. That's what I named it, coincidence or not, because good Lord.
So, Dave, I have a question. So, Luann21 asked, which Nikki are you talking about? I'll let you know up front. I disagree with your NA or Nicole Atkinson theory, but I agree with a lot of things that you've said. So I respectfully disagree with that one, but
no worries. But I can see
somebody's some good points.
Somebody's gone and thrown something up here as a question here by Baron Max. That's Dave, I'm sorry, but I think you're off base with Atkinson.
Oh yeah, I mean
okay.
Yeah.
No.
It's okay. I mean, we can all agree to disagree.
Yeah, absolutely. Her son stood on the car and took a photo. Yeah, but he couldn't see inside the vehicle. There's no way he could look over that, look over into those little panes of glass at the top of the garage door, and then look down through the back of the Lexus
Yeah, I
and
actually
see,
made that. I
because it was
actually
so
said
tinted.
that. I
Because it was
actually
so
said that.
tinted.
Yeah, I actually said that in one of my videos. I was like, well, the garage doors was really high, and I'm sure her son's tall. You really can't tell from the
No, well,
video.
he's jumped up on top of her car, on
Yeah,
top of her
but
bonnet, to look in.
all windows were tinted, but
Correct. And then
so I
Nicole
don't know.
Atkinson said in a recorded interview that she went up to the vehicle when Chris walked into the garage and did whatever dodgy stuff he went and did in the passenger side of the car in the front. She went up and looked inside the car to see if the car seats were there. Why would she have made that comment when she already knew it? She already knew the car seats were there. Her and her son had already seen. And in her interview, she actually said she went and checked to see if they were in the car.
Dave, was that in the interview she did in the Discovery when that she did at the police station?
No, this one was recorded. This one was done at her work.
Okay, where it was just her. It was a short one, pretty short interview, right?
It went for about an hour and a half, or an hour and a bit.
Yeah, well, that's short to me. I mean,
Oh, okay, yep.
But I think honestly, I think she was nervous. I thought I did see her walk into the garage when Chris was inside the house. Chris
Yep.
Watts.
Well, she was all over him when he went into the garage. She was like right there, like, what the hell are you doing? What are you picking up out of the car? What are you doing? And she was right there. She chased him basically into that garage.
I would have too.
You know, so I mean, I don't disagree with anybody. Like, I don't look. We've all got theories because the whole case is a mess.
Yeah.
The investigation was a farce. It was shut down too quickly. He admitted to killing his wife. He didn't admit to killing the kids until the plea deal. They had no evidence that he hurt the children.
Well,
So
there's
it's-
many people out there that don't even think he killed the kids. Think somebody
I
else
don't.
was involved in
Well,
that. Yeah.
you know, if you want to get to my theory, then if we eventually get there,
Yeah.
I don't believe he killed the children.
Yeah, and many
You don't
people
believe that?
No,
Yeah, many people don't
no,
believe
not at
that. Think
Not
he
at
had
all.
help. He just couldn't bring himself to kill his kids, but he did kill Shanann. So yes, that is another one of the thoughts out there, and simply for the fact that the way Chris acted when he took the plea deal. But the thing is he admitted it and he confessed to it, even though there is false confessions. I guess we're never really going to know the full truth, but we will all have our own thoughts and opinions on that part.
I mean, King's got a valid point when she says that he took a plea deal. He didn't admit anything. You know what I mean? He took responsibility, and and he hadn't had a chance to really talk to his mum and dad at all prior to the plea deal, and he was being given the plea deal by his public defender, who also works in the same office as the prosecution. So deals were going on left, right, and centre, and Chris didn't know anything about it. And then as soon as he brought it up with his mum, or his mum brought it up with him, he was shut down. They were shut down by his solicitor.
Okay, who was the solicitor, Dave? I've heard that before.
It was a man that he just said, if Cindy, if you want to talk about that, you're out. It was similar to that. It was something worse to that effect.
Wasn't that his own defense team that?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's what I thought.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
They
it was
wouldn't
his
let him
own
talk
defense.
to his mum about the plea deal. I just mean he's working for Chris. I would have told him to piss off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. I mean, he should have spoke up and said,
Yep.
if
But
you
it's not
want,
who he is.
if he didn't do that. But
mean, even
I
yeah,
feel like he
even
had opportunities to, speak his innocence. If he,
Oh yeah,
if he's
many of them.
innocent in front of the judge, the judge
Yeah.
gave him the opportunity to publicly speak and say, "Do you want?" And he had nothing to say.
Well, he
And
was
that
told
just
not
leaves
to.
us
He was
all with
told not to
questions.
speak.
Yeah, and I can believe that too. Here's the thing though, you do have the right to remain silent. At the same time, when you're using that right against your own life, sometimes you should speak up.
Oh,
But
for sure, absolutely. You know, like,
Hey.
well, why did he do the polygraph? Why was he in the room? Why wasn't he at home? Why wasn't he running away with Nicole Kessinger?
Good night,
You know what?
Susie. Thank you for being here, hon.
Oh, okay. She's gone.
But yeah, I mean, it's just Chris. He's just not going to tell the truth. Do I believe someone else was involved? There's a hell of a high likely.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely, I'm probably going to get all kind of hate for this. Yeah, I believe someone else was involved. Maybe
Well, you
not.
wouldn't get any hate because 90% of the population thinks somebody else was involved.
Yeah, maybe not hands-on, maybe not hands-on. At the same time, you can plant seeds. What did Charles Manson do, right? What did the...
Yeah, you're right. You don't have to... Well, Charles Manson wasn't even there.
Yeah. What about the little chick and the texting her boyfriend to kill herself? If you plant seeds, you can be complicit,
Or you can be an accessory.
Absolutely an accessory, and for the very least, a person of interest.
So if I don't want you to catch any hate. So what do we need to avoid?
No, I mean, it's okay, honey. That's the thing on my channel. I feel everybody has a God-given right to voice their own opinion without the fear of being jumped or bashed or anything like that. Name calling, first grade junk. I don't fly that way.
I'm not like that. I think everybody should be allowed, in this case in particular.
Yeah, I even have people come to me all the time and say, I think Shanann did it. Well, they're allowed that thought, and that's their opinion. I don't hate them for it. I just don't agree with them. Don't come at me though, telling me she's a piece of crap and she this and don't come at me with that, because I feel that is victim shaming, and I ain't going with that.
Yep. I mean, she was a bit out there.
Well, yeah, I mean, she wasn't perfect. She was bossy. I'll be the first to say that.
She put herself out there. So I think we're allowed to have an opinion in a way because of the way she's been portrayed, like what she's actually gone and done. But it's not about putting her down. But she's out there,
Right. Exactly. I can't agree more. My husband, I might get somebody hating on me for this, but I'm just going to say it. My husband would say, there's no way I could be married to her. It's not like he would have done that, but, I mean, she's a type A, period. And that's okay, because that's what Chris needed. He couldn't even be with his own type. It would be like two first graders walking around trying to live life.
Yep.
He needed somebody like her.
Sorry. Her Facebook, if you think about being a part of the initials are MLM. What's that stand for? Do you know?
It was multi-level marketing.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So her Facebook was basically a video for her sales. So she portrayed everything as perfect, as best she saw as perfect. Happy family,
Well, that was her job, though.
Right. Right. So that's, I don't, I'm not shaming her at all for doing that. That was how she made a living.
Yes. Yes.
But there are so many people all over the world.
Her, make an opinion about her off of her Facebook, because that was a video for her job, for sales. So I don't judge her for that at all.
Exactly. See, I'm a beautician, so when I had to go to work, I had to get all dressed up. You got to work your job too, just like your job works you.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to, especially in the kind of line of business she was in. She couldn't get on there and look like hell and be like, "Oh, I feel like hell today," buy this stuff. You can't do that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look at her text messages compared to her Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, she couldn't get on there and act. I mean, it's work, Do you think Elvis Presley walked around his house dancing blue suede shoes? Hell no, that was his job, It's just...
So I'm going to hop off here. Thanks for letting me come on.
Thanks so much for being here.
Somebody's here has asked who the woman is on the panel.
It's Lynette. It's the very first time I ever got to meet her too.
So thanks for letting me come on, and I'll listen. Dave has some interesting things to say.
He does.
Yes, he does. So
All right,
Okay.
hon.
Bye,
Thank you so
guys.
much.
Lovely to
Bye-bye.
meet
Or
you.
good morning. Good night.
Good
Good
night.
afternoon to you
Good
guys.
afternoon.
Good night.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
It's 20 to 5 in the afternoon, Saturday here.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yes.
It's 20 minutes to 1 a.m. here.
Yep. So 4:40 p.m. it is. So, it's great to chat with you. Like very,
Yes,
very.
likewise.
It's awesome. So Kim brought up some very good points in regards to Nicole Atkinson's GPS and a few things, which sort of.
Yeah, I don't think I saw that.
Well, she's put up a thing where there's a possibility that somebody caught the different plane. They weren't actually on the actual plane that they said they were on. So both of them came home. So Nicole Atkinson and Shanann came home together on the earlier flight.
Oh, so wait a minute. She's saying that Nicole and Shanann wasn't on the same plane?
No, they were on the same plane, but they were on the earlier one.
Huh.
They didn't.
Sounds interesting. I had to look at that.
So it actually involves all sorts of GPS things because Nicole Atkinson has had a thing called Life 360 on her phone, which pretty much covers everywhere you go.
Yeah, I have that. My
Okay,
family.
well, it covers everywhere you go with GPS. So they've got her going to Thornton from the airport.
Really?
Which is the hometown of the Lazy Dog. But they wouldn't have been going to the Lazy Dog at 11 o'clock at night. This is her theory that they went there and had a drink, and that's why Shannon was drunk. Well, Shannon wasn't drunk. Anyway, we won't go there.
No, I don't think so.
All right, so there's somebody else that we know that lives in Thornton. So let's say they rock up there, and she's not there. Okay, or they're there and they've had a bit of an argument, and Shannon comes. They fluffed around for a little while. They actually it took them 36 minutes to go 16 miles. In the middle of the night.
How many minutes to go? How
36 minutes to go 16 miles.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which is, in the middle of the night. So that's 32 miles an hour. So they've traveled at that speed.
Huh.
So whatever they did, for that 36 minutes, whatever I don't know. But the thing is that it brings them back to she obviously comes home at 10 to 2. But Chris is on the phone at 11 o'clock at night for 111 minutes, as we all know, with Nicole Kessinger. Well, what happens with Nicole Kessinger is her phone pings in Thornton at 11 o'clock when she makes the connection with the phone call with Chris. But the way phone pings work, if you're on the phone the entire time, you are not going to ping if you travel. Right, your phone will ping like she used to do when she was coming to and from work on a normal day. Her phone pinged in like 3 different areas as she drove through, heading to work or back home. Well, her phone didn't ping obviously until 6:16 in the morning. So she's had that phone call with Chris, but in that time, I believe she's driven to Chris's house.
Very likely.
And then got off the phone with Chris when she got to the house. And she either came in through the little Mickey Mouse window around the side of the house and entered through the back, because that Mickey Mouse window was apparently always left unlocked, so she could get in and out.
The Mickey Mouse window is always, it's always been in the back of my mind as well.
Okay, so this is a theory. It's not fact. So please, anybody out there listening, this is a theory. This is
theory series. Yeah,
it's a theory.
That's really all any of us have, right?
Yeah. Let me go back a little bit. Nicole Kessinger was sick. She plainly made it very obvious that she was sick. Okay, so when she was being interviewed with the police, so there's there's a high probability she was pregnant. All right. So this is leading to my theory.
Right.
Okay. So she's at the house. She's inside the house. Her and Chris are doing whatever. Probably in the basement. Shanann walks in, and Nicole Atkinson made a valid point that I don't know if she closed the latch. That's just how she said that comment, which goes back to her interview with the police and her being at the house, and her big point was, the latch was closed, we couldn't get in, etc., etc. But she threw this comment in out of left field. I don't know if Shannon closed the latch. Well, anyone could close the latch. Chris could have shut the latch. Anyone, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they had inside latch. Yeah.
But she made a point of actually saying, she didn't close it. I don't know if she closed the latch, but she just made a point of saying it. So let's just say they're downstairs. Now, the route that she's taken, where her suitcase was, next to the stairs, where she's put that, and she's thrown her purse, basically, in on the floor, opposite the opening of the door into the office. Well, that's the pathway to the basement.
Yes.
It's not the pathway to upstairs. So she goes downstairs, and there they are. And it's on for young and old, between the three of them.
Mm-hmm.
Shanann dies. Sadly. For the next 3 days, Nicole Kessinger is running around wearing long sleeve tops in the middle of August.
Exactly. And all of her other pictures, she was dressed very summery.
Oh, very, very summery.
Very, yes.
Yeah. So my theories, obviously, now Chris made a comment in his interrogation after he's spoken with his father, and he's confessed to his dad that he hurt Shannon after she hurt the kids. He's made a comment. She wasn't meant to be there, or why was she there, or made a comment. Like, nothing makes sense why she was there. That was it. Nothing makes sense
and that
why
has
she
been
was
redacted.
there now.
Did you know that? That has been redacted now.
Really?
I'm sure it has. So many people, I know I've saw it, and of course, you've seen it, and many of us that's been in it a while, we have definitely seen that, but we've gone back and tried to find it, and even in the Discovery I have, which was dropped early on, it's not there. I can't find it.
Yeah, well, he said it on watched video clearly of him saying it.
Oh yes, he definitely said it. I can't vouch for that.
Shanann Watts was meant to be in the house. She was meant to be there. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. Why was she there?
So who is she?
Yeah, who is she? Well, she was in the kids' bedroom smothering them.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And she had black hair, long black hair. So while he was down, Chris was downstairs, she's gone upstairs, and that's the commotion he's heard upstairs. He's then walked in. It didn't make sense why she was there. It didn't make sense why Nicole Kessinger was there killing his children.
Exactly. His dad even made the comment, who is she? He even made that comment. And it was so odd that his dad said, well, did they leave then? How could they leave? Chris just said that they were dead. And then the comment comes, well, did they leave then? Okay, what?
Yep. Absolutely. It's the whole case is mind-boggling. I just can't, with the Flintstones running the investigation, really, because Tammy Lee's got all these accolades for, leading the investigation. But What did they investigate?
Yeah.
You know,
That's what I would
somebody's
love to know. It was a bunch of empty questions. And then you have Rourke saying, oh, this bombshell information. Well, no. They
Yep.
knew about Nicole the day of the 14th because they were following Chris around thinking that's where he was going to go.
Yeah, for
On the
sure.
14th, before he
Yep.
even gave them his phone. How did they know about her? It wasn't Anadarko. Anadarko
Well,
was
no,
at
no. On the
8,
5th, on the
8
4th,
a.m. the 15th is
on
when
the
Anadarko.
15th after lunch
Right.
or
But on,
thereabouts, because he'd just gone in for his polygraph, and then Anadarko contacted the police and said that we think that he was having an affair.
on the
You know, with
15th.
I think it was the 15th because he was in having
Oh, it
his
was, yeah, it
no,
was,
the 14th. It was the 14th.
it was the 15th at 8 a.m. when Anadarko surrendered the emails. And then
They
shortly
surrendered
there,
them then, so it must have been on the 14th
it
in
was
the
the 5th.
afternoon.
It
No,
was the
when
15th,
they had to get a
according to
warrant to actually
Discovery.
get them.
Yeah, and the 15th at 8 a.m. is when Frederick
Yes.
Police Department received the emails. However, on the 14th, the evening of the 14th, the police was stalking his house. They watched him put his trash in the neighbor's trash can, but yet they didn't check that trash can. And then they followed him. Yeah. And then they followed, this is in the Discovery. And then they followed him and they thought he was going to Nicole's, but he did a U-turn when I think he figured out they knew he was being followed. So he does a U-turn and goes to the Frederick Police Department to be interviewed. But yet they thought he was going to Nicole's. Now my question, how in the hell is bombshell evidence given by Nicole when she didn't even call them until Friday evening? And they knew about her the 14th.
Yep. Absolutely. That's the whole.
I'm not saying she didn't give bombshell evidence because they damn sure knew where those bodies were way before Chris ever told them where they were.
Yep. See,
Somebody
the 5 weeks that Shanann Watts actually spent in North Carolina with the kids, right, was obviously when Chris was gallivanting around and playing up. I think Nicole Atkinson followed him. Knew exactly where he was going. And Shanann knew.
See, that's what I thought. I've entertained that thought as well. When she was in North Carolina, she was already seeing that he was acting differently, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Well, Nicole was her best friend.
Correct.
So what would any woman do? If she is across the country, she would call her best friend and say, keep an eye on this ass. He ain't acting right, you know?
Absolutely. You know, so I think, you know, and that's why they knew where to go on that in Thornton, because Nicole Atkinson has followed Chris there, and he'd spent plenty of time there.
Exactly. Okay, Mandy, good night, sweetheart. Thank you for coming. Gina says, what about the bullet and the casings in the road? What do you think
Who
about
knows
that?
what about them? I mean, all I just know the dog handler should have been in retirement. I don't think the dog handler did a very good job.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about that. I
mean, the dog in the basement. This is where my theory about the basement comes in, because the dog went nuts, absolutely nuts in the basement. It wouldn't shut up, and then she was guiding the dog around the basement. And then then they go for the little walk around the neighborhood, because we know in hindsight, Chris has said he threw his clothes into a red dumpster.
Yes.
Okay. Well, they were at the only dumpster they went near was where the bullet casings were, and the dog went nuts. It wanted to go over to the dumpster, and she's stopping it.
Yeah, and she's doing more searching in the house than the dog is. She's pulling the dog back.
Yep.
And I'm like,
absolutely. The dog should have been left off its leash and gone to look, because then it would bark, stop, and sit on its haunches. Something's happening here.
Right.
That's how they're meant to be trained, I believe. Like there was no one down there that the dog was going to bite. It was like a trained officer and a dog handler.
Exactly.
Two people that were down there. So the dog should have been left to go and search like a dog should.
Yeah, but the dog really wasn't. And now the second dog seemed to be doing its job, and I think the first dog would have, but the handler wasn't allowing it.
Correct. And so that question that your listener just asked, like, the bullet casings, I mean, who knows? It's Colorado. It's an open carry state. They can actually do anything they want, pretty much. They can fire a gun in the middle of the night. They can
and there was a lady in the Discovery. She said she actually heard those shots, and it was so loud and so intense that she actually took a picture of her clock.
Yep.
So she would know the exact time.
Do you know what time that was?
I can't remember. I can't remember, but I can't remember. It's definitely in the Discovery. I've already read it. Gosh, once you read that Discovery, it seems to all just jumble together, and dates, times, and you kind of get mixed up with it.
But the whole Discovery, if you wanted to read it from start to finish, you'd go mental because it goes all over the place. It's like,
yeah, that's what I'm doing with.
But there's nothing. But you've got to jump to page 1874, and then you got to go back to page 210 for it to get a timeline. It's just it's all over the place, and it's so hard for the layman out there to actually follow it.
It absolutely is. Absolutely. I have been trying for the channel, and we're about halfway through it now, but we would have been finished with it. But me, I have to stop here and there and give my opinion and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, but we're about halfway through it, and I'm trying to keep it interesting and factual, so.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, I don't rate the confession that he made in prison. He could have said anything he wanted. I don't believe that was what happened. Maybe he was threatened by Nicole and her father, Nicole Atkinson, Kessinger, by her and her dad or something, that the rest of your family, something will happen to them if you open your mouth, or I don't know. But I seriously, or she was pregnant, and apparently she was in my eyes, the lust of his life, not the love of his life. And maybe she's gone and had a baby boy, and he's protecting her.
Right.
I don't know. That's the big possibility. A question here: why did the police call why did NK call the police a week before the murder? I don't know.
She absolutely did, though.
She did.
Mm-hmm. And that is a good question that she should have been asked.
She should have been asked. She should have been, leave Jim alone. Well, why have we got to leave Jim alone? Did he say that? No.
Yeah.
Leave Jim alone. Well, why do we have to leave Jim alone? A true investigator would ask. That would be the next question.
Well, I mean, a true investigator is not going to just easily leave an only alibi alone. Who wants anybody to leave their alibi alone? I would be hand delivering my alibi, I wouldn't be saying, don't talk to my alibi. No, God, no. Who does that?
I know. And then where was she between 6:16 a.m. and 2:28? For those next 8 hours until she clocked in at work. 8 whole hours she was where? Where was Jim?
Where was Jim? Yes. And
3:45 he's at her place.
Mm-hmm.
She leaves. She gets to work at 2:28. Leaves at 10 to 3.
Oh yes.
She was only there 20 minutes. So she showed her face and left.
Yeah. See, I actually have, and I'm supposed to be doing a live with this guy, and I had one set up, and I don't know what happened, but he was with Chris the morning of, and he is also a neighbor of the Wattses. And
you mentioned that to me in an email.
And we had the live set up. I can even show you. We had it set up, and then I don't know what happened, but he couldn't make it. And I know he has kids, and I know he's in the middle of moving, but He definitely does not think Nicole is innocent at
Oh,
all. He
yeah.
said himself, he said she, I think it was, she smelled like cabbage. She cussed like a sailor. He could never see what Chris seen in her when Shanann was very classy, and but he
Yep.
was just intrigued by her. And
I think she was out there and
yeah, and
sexually.
he said
You know
she
what
was
I mean? And that was,
crazy. I mean, he said at
yeah.
work she would just go off the handle. I mean, like
Yep.
bipolar, and he knows her personally.
Yep.
Why
Yeah,
was
well,
it he interviewed? That's the thing. He had a lot of information, much more than somebody across
sorry.
the world that hadn't seen him in 4 or 5 years that they were interviewing. This guy, but he wasn't interviewed. And he was there that morning.
Somebody's protected. That's
You know,
all I can say. There's something, and you hit the nail on the head. A friend of mine, Kalea, told me, you got to watch this thing on Unjustified about Weld County. And she put me on there to watch about the story you put together for
Oh,
the
wow.
corruption in
There's so
Weld County.
much.
That is just, yeah, it's all over America. I mean, it's horrendous, the corruption, but that took the cake for me. I thought, here we go. Well, this is it.
Wow. And yeah, the cops beating the people they're that's talking, and God, there's a lot of corruption up in there. And you do know it's everywhere, but geez.
Yeah.
That much?
Absolutely. Yep. It's
And that's what we see on mainstream. Can you imagine what's not talked about?
Yes, absolutely. I actually watch a lot of civil activists in America, and they go and stand with a camera outside a police station because they've got a right to hold a camera. Like they're allowed to film the police. So they do it to get a reaction from the police. And
Yes.
then it's just from that, you can just see the corruption within the police force, just a general little police department. The corruption starts there.
Oh, yeah.
But they're trained from the DA's office down to the sheriff's department, right? And then it's right down to the little police station who's looking after one town. It all starts at the top, works its way down. They're all going to be corrupt. That's what's so sad. It's just...
Yeah, and then you got the DA, the big DA. He's like the godfather of them, He's like the main guy. And when all these little ones are working under him and there's that much corruption, the cops were killing each other. Are you serious? I was like, what?
Yep.
Yeah, they're killing each other. Cops killing civilians in road rage.
Yep. Yep, that's what happens.
And deputies killing their wives and getting acquitted.
Yep. 40% of police officers commit domestic violence on their spouse in America alone.
Yeah, and
that's a horrific number. That's such a high number.
Very high. Yes.
It's because they bring their work home. That's how they carry on with the general public when they don't have to carry on like that, and then they go home and do it.
Yeah, and many of them in that profession is malignant narcissist. That is, and not all of them, but many are. And that's why they're in the profession, is because they have to feel that control over other people.
Yes, absolutely. Well, there's so many people out there that have labeled Chris a narcissist and a sociopath. And, 7 years ago, I was diagnosed with Asperger's, and I look at Chris and I see myself.
Really? That's interesting.
Well, no, I don't see myself.
I mean, I know what you're saying,
what
but
he's done.
Right.
But
his characteristics.
Absolutely. I've trained myself through books and a bit of help from a psychologist how to act. And Chris has never been taught that, and he's been controlled by women his entire life, his mum and Shanann, and then he's just met another controlling woman, Nicole Kessinger.
Yes.
So he's just followed the same path So he was always going to be the same person because he didn't know who he actually was.
He absolutely didn't. I've always said Chris was a human robot.
Yep.
I mean, he
And
just
lacks so
was.
many social skills, like so many. And I don't feel sorry for the guy. He probably deserves to be where he is. I'm not, but
Yes.
I just want it all to come out. And I hope to God. I mean, I don't know how he's going to get his there's possible his constitutional rights might have been violated somewhere along the line. Most people's are at some stage when they get charged with a capital crime. But if it goes, we all want it to be, seriously, I think we all want it to be approved.
Yes.
Because we want a court case. We want to hear the truth come out. And if it doesn't get approved, we'll never know. We'll never know anything. We'll be doing this in 30 years' time. We'll still be discussing Nicole Kessinger in Alaska.
Right. Thank you for coming and seeing us, Crazy Crime Chick. It was great to meet you. I'm happy to see I'm not the only night owl. And welcome to membership, Chatterbox. Great. That's awesome.
Yeah, I saw somebody asked before, why would she Google Ronnie, Nicole Kessinger? She Googled everyone associated with the Watts family. I don't know why she Googled Ronnie.
She Googled she Googled everyone. She Googled some absolutely crazy
stuff.
Yeah, that definitely, in my opinion, put her very questionable.
Oh,
I mean,
I just can't. Yeah.
The ping in Frederick, the 111-minute call. Oh my goodness.
Her vehicle that was registered in her name.
Absolutely.
That was the whole thing. She had a white vehicle that she used for work, and she had this grey pickup truck.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
And we have a next door neighbour saying it was parked between my house and Chris's house.
Yes. And then the news people saying that there was a truck being impounded.
Yep.
Before Chris's.
Yep. Unbelievable. I just can't.
But we don't see the truck they're talking about, but come on now, it happened.
Yep.
Hey Sean, how you doing, hon?
You know, Betty would be one of them people to be like, we have a TV show here in Australia called Neighbours. She'd be like this Mrs. Mangle who didn't miss anything. You know, somebody going up and down the street at all sorts of hours. I wouldn't imagine Betty would miss it. You know, I think she was a pretty smart woman. And
Betty knew what was going on, and she knew that truck didn't belong here. And why didn't Nate ever say anything? Nate watched the Neighbors. Nate, he did help this case, but let me tell you, he was nosy, yes.
Yes.
And we've all got a neighbor like Nate,
Yes,
so Nate knew what the hell was going on over there. So why didn't he ever mention, well, there has been this truck there, and there was this chick sitting in it one day texting, and, he said he had heard him screaming. Well, I'm assuming that's the day he talked off a ledge.
Yep, I think that was the night. That was where he retracted what he said on Dr. Philia, or somewhere he said it. Dr. He actually retracted.
Yeah. He did.
Saying what he said, but I think he meant it. I think he heard screaming that night.
You think it was that night?
That actual night.
See, I think it could have been when Nicole and Chris got into it and he talked her off the ledge, and I don't know.
Yep.
But you could be right, though, I don't know. Either way, I believe he did hear it.
Yes.
And I believe someone told him, you need to retract that.
Yep, absolutely. And there's, see, the other thing that people don't realize, the houses behind Chris's, what we're seeing now is occupied houses.
Right.
Those houses behind Chris's house were empty. There was a road that came right up to his back door. Well, right up to his back fence, and no one lived in them houses. So what's stopping Nicole Kessinger coming there whenever she wanted at night?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What was stopping her driving her vehicle around there at 5:15 in the morning when Betty said she saw it last there, just before Chris moved his vehicle and reversed it back? What's stopping her driving around the back, and then they go and load the bodies into her vehicle out the back.
Exactly. And yeah, they say that Nicole, or I've heard myself, and you may have heard this as well, that Nicole sold her truck right around the same area. I've never saw proof of that, but I've definitely heard that many, many, many times. And
Yep.
she definitely did not have it during her interviews. I can vouch for that.
Yeah.
They were either picking her up or what was it? She rode with her dad one time, but she never drove herself.
Yep.
So if the truck wasn't sold, then why wasn't she driving it? I know there
Correct.
was search warrants for the truck. They were already made, but they never served them because she came forward to save face, in my opinion.
Yeah. But we never got to hear her talk about that vehicle.
Never. Wow.
You know, and there are parts of that interrogation, if you look at the clock, you know, time passes by very fast on that clock at times. 1 minute it's 2 o'clock, next minute it's 6 o'clock, or the next minute, 1 minute it's 2 o'clock, and then it's 10 to 3.
Someone actually pointed, Someone actually pointed out it was wrong and it was cut. I can't remember who.
Well, there was 15 minutes of Chris and Ronnie that was cut.
Really? See,
Yes.
I need to look
Disappeared,
into that.
gone. 3:15 to 3 or something, it was gone.
And it's just not there.
Yep.
It's just like there's supposed to be a video of, and it says it in the discovery. The discovery says the video is attached to this report, the video and audio of Nicole and her dad at that interview. However, we don't get the video. We just get half of the audio and then it cuts out.
Yep. Absolutely. You know,
So why couldn't we get the video? You know, what is the deal? Is there looks? Is there kicks under the table? What's up? Why can't we see the video?
Yep. I think Dad was involved with something to do with CBI.
Many people do. I don't know what to say. I don't know. I do believe there's something about her dad. I don't know what it is.
But the topic of conversation that they had, why would you have your father there? And seriously, they were talking all sorts of sexual stuff.
Well,
and
by
why would you
law.
have Dad there? Yeah, no. Yes,
by law,
you're allowed to have somebody, but he wasn't allowed to interject.
If you're mentally incompetent, if you're an adult, that is here, and I'm pretty sure it's everywhere. The only way an adult on something like that could have someone else in there with them besides an attorney is if they're mentally incompetent.
Okay.
That is a fact. Now, if by chance, and I'm not saying she is, but by chance, Nicole may have had some kind of mental, maybe bipolar, whatever, then yes, that would have been legal for her dad to sit in with her.
Why didn't they actually tell us that?
Other than that, no, that's not legal.
Dad sat there. You know what I mean? Like because, but all the questions that are out there by the general public.
Yeah.
Why doesn't the DA Rourke come out and say, just at least come out and say, Nicole Kessinger had nothing to do with it because she was here when the murders took place.
And that is right, KH. She was only ever considered a witness.
Correct.
She was never, ever considered a suspect.
Correct.
Which I don't understand why. There was enough there to maybe not a suspect, but at least a person of interest.
Yeah. Just because Chris doesn't throw her under the bus, which I think he should, right? But just because he doesn't, you know, implicate her in any way, you know, they just didn't follow it up.
I mean, she gave all kinds of reasonable doubt. One, through her lies. Two, her phone records definitely did not match up with her story.
Yep.
Chris lived with her for 5 weeks.
Yes.
Her house wasn't searched. What, and what? You know, it's just.
Yep. Anyway. Look, I'm going to let you go because it's now 2:15 in the morning Eastern time in America. So
Yeah, I'm fixing to call this a night. I really want to thank you for coming up here. It was so good to talk to you.
it was great. It was a nice time with your accent and your tone of voice is.
Well, thank
I
you
could
very
sit here
much.
all night and talk with you because I'm the calmest
Same,
I've been in
same,
a long time.
same. I like that accent. That's so awesome. Yeah, so
All right.
cool.
Well, I'm gonna chuff off. I don't know how to hang up here. Maybe you can hang up on me or something. I don't know how it works.
Yeah,
But
I want to
I'll
thank
leave studio.
everybody.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
All right. Well, no, thank you so much, Kim. I really
You
appreciate
too,
chatting to you.
and thank you, Baron, for coming up, and the other lady. God, I can't say her name. Y'all, I can't even say
Dominic,
Massachusetts.
wasn't it? Dominic or something?
Yes, yes. And
Yep.
Lynette, if you're still here, thank everybody for coming out. I appreciate us night owls, and thanks so much, Dave, for sitting up here with me.
You're very, very welcome. Thank you for allowing me to come on.
All right, hon. Y'all have a great night. Love you all. Team UnJustified.